The Shadow in Room 214. In the winter of 2019, a man named Daniel was traveling through a small town in the United States called Ashford. It was late at night, snow was falling heavily, and the roads were almost empty. Daniel decided to stay at a small roadside hotel called the Ashford Inn. The building looked old and quiet. The receptionist gave him the key to room 214. Before handing over the key, the receptionist said something strange. "Sir, if you hear knocking at night, don't open the door." Daniel laughed a little. He thought the man was joking. Daniel went to his room, placed his bag on the table, and laid down on the bed. Outside the window, the wind was howling. Around 2:13 a.m., Daniel suddenly woke up. Knock, knock, knock. Someone was knocking on his door. Daniel looked at the clock. 2:13 a.m. He walked slowly toward the door. "Hello?" Daniel said. No answer. He looked through the peephole. There was no one there. Daniel felt a little uncomfortable, but he returned to bed. 5 minutes later, knock, knock, knock. This time the knocking was louder. Daniel quickly opened the door. The hallway was completely empty, but at the far end of the hallway, he saw a tall shadow standing near the stairs. The figure looked like a woman with long hair. Daniel blinked. The shadow slowly turned its head toward him, and then it started walking toward him. Daniel slammed the door shut. His heart was beating fast. He locked the door and jumped back into bed. But suddenly, he heard something inside the room. Footsteps. Slow footsteps. Behind him. Daniel slowly turned his head, and in the corner of the room, there was a dark figure standing near the wall. Its face was completely black. Only two white glowing eyes were visible. The figure whispered something. "Leave this room." Daniel grabbed his bag and ran out of the room immediately. He went straight to the reception. The receptionist looked at him and sighed. Then he said quietly, "You stayed in room 214, didn't you?" Daniel nodded. The receptionist said something that froze Daniel's blood. 10 years ago, a woman died in that room. Since then, people who stay there always hear knocking at 2:13 a.m. But some guests say the ghost doesn't just knock. Sometimes it enters the room. Daniel left the hotel that same night, and according to hotel records, room 214 has been empty ever since. But sometimes, guests in nearby rooms still hear knocking at exactly 2:13 a.m. If you enjoyed this terrifying true-style story, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more real horror stories every week. Sleep carefully tonight, because sometimes the knocking might not be from a human.